Alright, let's try this again. This is the third time I've tried to make my commentary on Playset magazine number 84 from November, December 2015 with a 16-page photo feature on Marx Toys Operation Moonbase, which I obtained under the hopes that it would have details about the design history of the playset and maybe some notes on how the design team arrived at the forms and interviews with surviving members, insights on how they decided to package it. And it's a great magazine, very entertaining issue. The pictures are gorgeous, and the track they took for the narrative or for the verbiage in the article was to describe a young boy receiving Operation Moonbase for Christmas in 1962, which is cute. That's interesting right there. Blister carded 3-stage rocket. All sorts of pictures. It's a photo magazine. These are cool. I've seen those rounded things, blister carded without this set. I'm gonna have to go look into it. And here's the article itself. And as I said, it's gorgeous. Moon-based monorail with the bullet skyliner by Yokozo. I bid on one of those and got clocked. And so I opened this up. When I first opened it up, I was like, whoa, I bid on that thing. Awesome. And they're just speculating upon how well they would go together. Very artfully made pictures of the pieces and an exhaustive description or listing of everything involved, including pictures of it. There's the moon ship, 2 versions of it, one in silver. Standard issue one is sort of this bluish plastic. I guess the point of that picture is that one had a plug on the end of it, which wasn't common. I just won an auction for some of these components that are incoming, and there's my Morse code thing. And here's their, centerfold. Hey, you can tack that up on the wall where the Farrah Fawcett poster used to be. And a rundown of the figures and explanation of where the hard suits come from. There's our prime mover, detailed assessment of the exploding mountain. But it lacks that narrative. This is great, which is instructions for assembling the components should one ever come upon the components disassembled. And this I found to be the most useful page, which is a rundown of how the subsequent Moonbase sets stacked up in comparison to Operation Moonbase, and the end result is that they were not favorable. Starting with Moonbase, this one has maybe 65 of the 85 components, and then Project Apollo Moon Landing set removes even more, shrinks down the size of the moon mountain, and eliminates all launchers. Huh? Fun would it be without them being able to launch it? There's some of the later Marx sets. They cite Star Station 7 as, I think they say it's 1972. My notes say 1978. Giant Martian Landing was 72. And those sort of nuances are neither here nor there. And then the last thing that they have is this detailed examination of everything that came with Operation Moonbase, both in picture and text form, so you know what you're looking for. And there's the Moonbase components and Apollo Moon Landing components, letting you know what had been removed as they dumbed the package down to try to make it more economical, because it was a commercial flop. Operation Moonbase was not commercially successful. Moonbase was not commercially successful. Project Apollo Moon Landing set was not commercially successful. And by 1972, when the Giant Martian Landing set came out, Marx had essentially ceased to exist as a private company. I'm not sure who was in charge of it, but by the time of Star Station 7, it was not That was not the Marx family, and not only did the size of the piece suffer, but the quality of it apparently suffered somewhat. And by 1980, of course, Marx went out of business in whatever form. But it's a photo magazine celebrating the form, very Marx-centric. I'm not seeing too much about other people or other companies' sets. I'm 52, so it's wrong for me to say, well, that's the old guys with their toy sets, but that's who's collecting this stuff. And you can order all their back issues, although this is from 2015. I'm not sure if you can still make those orders from here. And they did pretty much examine all of the Marx play sets. There's the Space Patrol play set, and any fan of Operation Moonbase will do themselves well by obtaining a copy of it, but you're not looking to it for statistical data or interviews with original surviving design team members or insights onto how the decisions for the various things included in the set were created. An interesting note was that this rocket here, I always wondered what the point of it was. That's a suction cup on the bottom, and you stick it onto the floor of the table or whatever, and the spring arms or the springy legs slowly pull up and it goes shooting off, which by 1972 was forbidden. You can't have some kid putting their eye out with your cool space toy, and I'm going to have to take that into consideration when thinking about how to design my own set. There's another advertising image for the original 1074. Ooh. And I'm glad, oh Christ, low power mode. I'm glad that I have it, but it's not the reference guide that I hoped it would be. And I'm going to check out the plastic figure playset collector edition, where they also take a look at Project Moonbase and hopefully offer some more insight onto how it was made. Other than that, not a bad magazine. $10 an issue. I recommend anyone with an interest in the idiom to look into getting some of these, just to have the pictures. All right.